Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a little dose of reality.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Fins Talk. I'm your host, Steve Molloy, and I have no guest tonight. It's just me solo. But thank you for everybody that's joining in the chat there tonight. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. If you that little bell down there, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and then share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. And remember, we may not always agree everything Miami Dolphins, but there's one thing we can agree on. We are all Dolphins. So with that, I want to welcome everybody again. And yeah, I've had some guests on the past, I guess, month or so now. So it's a little different for me to go solo here. So um, wow, I feel kind of lost, kind of lonely. But anyway, um, so the Dolphins 2025 schedule has been released, and we're going to go over that. We're definitely going to go over that tonight, and I'm going to give you my prediction on the Miami Dolphins record and why I feel that way. And I'm just going to start out by saying I don't have very high expectations for a Miami Dolphins football team this year. I just don't. I really don't. Um, as of last year, I said the same thing. I had a lot of questions. I think I even have more questions this year concerning the defense specifically. And the offense, we still have some questions on the offense, even though we in our our draft choices we got Ollie Gordon and we got Westbrook. Well, Westbrook was a free agent. We got him. We acquired him, um, as well as Madison, uh, James Daniels. But as far as our draft picks, Jonah Savanaya, the guard. Um, we've made some other additions in free agency, Brown, the tight end, and all that kind of stuff. Uh, those are still question marks. Those are all question marks, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know how they're going to pan out here in Miami, the rookies or the free agents. We don't. We've got an offensive guard that we got from Pittsburgh. James Daniels, uh, big man. Okay, he's big. Okay, that doesn't mean he's physical. And if you go look at the film, and my man from Ace Per Head did a whole film study on him, he's not a power blocker. He's a finesse blocker. He's not a power blocker. Is he better than Jones or Eichenberg? Yeah, he is slightly. And I know a lot of folks that, whoa, his PFF was 92 something last year. He had a great, phenomenal season. He only played 4 games. He only played 4 games. The year prior to that, in 2023, okay, his PFF was 61. 61 score. That's a backup. That's a backup. Now, that was the year prior. That wasn't last year. He started off great, right? But, he might have tapered off throughout the year. We don't know. And then you got to put everything into context. Who did Pittsburgh play against? Well, they did play against the Chiefs, and I think it was the Chiefs. They played against a couple of good teams. I know they played against the Jets. But anyway, there's still question marks. He's coming off an Achilles heel injury. He's a big man. He's got to come off that right or left foot, right? As a guard. And how much is that going to affect him? Is he going to lose a little bit? Is he going to lose a little bit of power that he does have? His agility, him being able to move around, pull out for the outside zone, because that's basically what Miami's offense is going to be doing this year again. I'm almost certain it's going to be a lot of outside zone, that West Coast offense, who and then Ollie Gordon. Will he even get any snaps? We don't know. Look what happened to Jalen Wright, his rookie year. We thought he was gonna come in and he was gonna get all these snaps, and he didn't. And to be quite frank, when he did come in, he was terrible at pass blocking. That's why he didn't get a lot of reps last year, Jalen Wright. And his production went way down. Go look at his production the last, the few games that he did have. He wasn't doing very well. So I'm not going to put all this stock on Ollie Gordon and Madison and all this stuff. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I'm just basing it off last year, right? Same with James Daniel. James Daniel, okay, he played 4 good games. We played 4 good games, and everybody's all high and mighty on him. But then when we say, well, Patrick Paul, he only played a few games too, so we don't really know. That's not a good sample size for us to evaluate if he's going to be a good player or not. And I know a lot of folks are saying, look at him, he did really well, blah 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 blah. All right, let's use the same energy with James Daniels. He only played 4 games. Patrick Paul only played a few games. Okay. So there's question marks on this offensive line. Savanea, okay. He played tackle his last year. Well, last year in college, he played tackle. He played left and right tackle. 7 snaps right. I'm not sure if it was right or left, but I think it was 7 snaps right tackle, 5 games left tackle, 7 games right tackle. Okay. And he even said it in the interview. He's got to get used to coming off his right foot. He's not used to playing in the position of guard that Miami's placing him in. I think it's left guard. And that's another thing. We're going to have left guard. We're going to have Patrick Paul. You might as well say he's still a rookie. And then we're going to have Savanea on the left side as well. And then Jackson, he's another guy that's average at best on a good day. And he's going to be with James Daniels. And then we don't know if James Daniels is even going to start the first of the year. We don't know. So there's a lot of questions. And then I know Tua Tagovailoa, can he stay healthy? He had the hip injury at the end of the year. I know Mike McDaniel said, oh, no, that hip injury's in the past now. At least according to Omar Kelly, he asked McDaniel about the hip injury with Tua, and McDaniel said, oh, everything's great. Yeah, okay. We got question marks on the offense. Hey, how you doing, Finn, Sammy? Appreciate you joining. And we got Elwood is in here. Appreciate you, brother. Steve, we went 8-9 with Liam and Jones. Tua hurt. Cut Fuller, hurt Ramsey, average at best, poor safety play, and Bailey, 10-7. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, if everything pans out, Elwood, like 10-7, right? If everything pans out, if all these rookies, if Savanea, if Kenneth Grant, and I'll get to them, and if maybe Jordan Phillips, yeah. If they pan out, maybe Calais Campbell, he's a he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He was playing at a high level last year, and he's a veteran. Is Kenneth Grant going to come in there and play at a high level, just as on par with Calais Campbell? We don't know. So that's a question. Those are question marks. Okay. So before we get into the schedule release and everything, but 10-7 is fair. I can see that. If all the stars are aligned and everything goes perfect, Tua stays healthy, if we don't sustain a lot of injuries, maybe. So on the defense, again, we got some question marks with Kenneth Grant. Okay. Jordan Phillips, because he's going to be rotating in. He'll probably be playing nose tackle, and Grant will probably be playing right next to Zeeler. Zeeler. But anyway, and then not to mention, I hate to sound negative. I'm trying to be optimistic and positive, and I will here as soon as we get to the schedule. But Jalen Phillips coming off an injury. Bradley Chubb didn't even play the whole year. He should be ready. He should be ready to go, but we'll see. Well, how much have those two knee injuries or 2 or 3 knee injuries that he's had and some other injuries that he's had when he was in Denver and stuff, how much is that going to, that wear and tear in those injuries, how much is that going to affect him? He's a little older now. I mean, I think he's 28 or 29. I mean, he's not over the hill or anything. But, I mean, he is older. He's got some wear and tear on his body, especially with those injuries. So we got that. And then the biggest question mark that I have is our defensive backfield. When we probably going to trade Jalen Ramsey probably post June 1st, right? We're probably going to trade him. So who's going to play cornerback? We got Cater Kohu. We know he's not going to play boundary. He's going to play the slot. Okay. Cam Smith is going to play boundary. Cam Smith. And maybe we start one of the rookies, maybe Marshall. We're going to start him, a rookie, another rookie. And Cam Smith has been injured and hasn't been very good at all. Is that what we're going to do? And then the safeties, the two safeties we have, the guy we brought in from the Jets, Davis, and the other guy that I can't say his name, they were never starters. They were never starters. Never. And the other guy we got from Detroit, the safety that I can't pronounce his name, he's been injured. He's only played like 10 or 15 games in his time as a pro. Started 10 or 15 games. Is that what we're banking on? Yes, Weaver did make he did make some lemonade out of the folks that we had last year. Sure. We played a lot of bad teams last year too. We played a lot of bad teams last year, and we didn't play as many quarterbacks, really good quarterbacks last year. But this year, we are. And you don't think those really good quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, who else we play? Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, he's going to give us fits. He's a mobile quarterback. Who else? Trevor Lawrence. I'm not too scared of Trevor Lawrence. Then you got Drake May with the Patriots. Anthony Richards did a number on us last year, running the ball. Another mobile quarterback. Oh, and then we got to face Justin Herbert. Michael Penix is with the Falcons. We don't know what he's going to do, but the backup is Cousins. So, and don't forget, we got to play Jalen Daniels as well. You don't think they're going to do some damage to that backfield? Hey, Nightmare, how you doing, brother? Thank you for joining. How do you know we're switching to man press, Elwood? I had some stats here from last year. We played zone 61% of the time. That's what Weaver plays, zone. He plays zone 61% of the time. Go look it up. 61% of the time we play zone. Yeah, Lamar's going to ball out too. DSG label. Yeah. They're going to eat us alive in the backfield. Oh, okay, we can get some pressure maybe. Maybe. Hopefully Chop has improved, right? Then again, you got Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson did well his last few games last year. I think he had 6 sacks or something like that in the last 3 or 4 games. Something like that. So, if we stop the run, guess what? They're going to throw the pass, and they're going to eat us alive with that defensive backfield. Mark my words. I hate sounding, negative, but I got to be real about this. Okay? I don't want to see my Miami Dolphins lose. I want to see them be winners. I want to see them go to the playoffs. I want to see them go to the championship. I want to see them to win the division. I want all those things. But those expectations, I do not have this year at all. So let's go over the schedule. All right. So those are the question marks that I have on defense. Primarily the defensive backfield on defense. And then and the other question marks on offense is we'll see how Sebaniah does. We'll see how James Daniels does. And then another thing really quick before I get into the schedule. Everybody's talking about all these UFDA, undrafted free agents, right? Oh, he's going to be a good one. He's a big guy. He can make the team. Dude, we only have 53-man roster. Okay? We're not keeping 10 wide receivers. We're only keeping 5 at most. And we can almost count those 5 who's going to make the team already. Yeah, maybe some of the UFDA, undrafted free agents may make the practice squad. But you can't expect them to be impactful players on this team, even if we do keep 1 or 2. So here's the schedule. I have it. This is how I've done it. I did 50. I have some teams that are 50-50. What I mean by 50-50 is it's a 50-50 chance we could lose. Right? Oh, we could win, right? Win or lose. It's a toss-up. So those teams are the Colts, the Chargers, and the Falcons. I would have put the Jets and the Patriots in the 50-50 category. I didn't do that because we play them twice. So I didn't put them in the 50-50 category. But I'll get to that in a minute. So let's just go down the schedule and then we'll talk through it. So the first game of the season, they play the Indianapolis Colts in their house. Okay, it's a 1 p.m. game. We don't know who the quarterback is. Probably Anthony Richardson, but we don't know. I got that in the 50-50 category. I say we're going to beat the Colts, but it could go either way. But I say we're going to beat them. Then the next game of the season, we play the New England Patriots. It's a 2 p.m. game at Hard Rock. So it's a home game. We're going to beat the Patriots. The Patriots are a team, especially now with Mike Vrabel. Um, he doesn't. His teams don't seem to start off really fast. A lot of teams don't, but his especially doesn't. So I say we beat the New England Patriots, although they've done a lot of good in the draft this year. They picked up some good players. I don't think they're quite ready yet, at least not in the first or second game of the season. So we win that game. Then we've got to fly to Buffalo, New York. Play the Bills. Josh Allen. It's an 8:15 p.m. game. It's not cold, so that's good. But it's a night game under the lights against Josh Allen. That's a loss. Then we come back home and we play a 7:15 p.m. game against the New York Jets. That's a win. Then we go up to Jacksonville and we play the Jacksonville Jaguars, a 1 p.m. game. Let's see what I have there. The Jags. Yeah, we're going to beat the Jags. We're going to beat the Jaguars in their house. Then we come back down to Miami Gardens, Hard Rock Stadium. We got a 1 p.m. game against Justin Herbert in the I want to say San Diego, in the Los Angeles Chargers. That's a loss. So now we're in week 7, and now we got to fly up to Cleveland. Now it's not cold, grant you. 1 p.m. game. We go to Cleveland, and we beat the Browns. Shedeur Sanders might be the quarterback. Wouldn't that be interesting? But I think we beat the Browns. They got a hell of a defense, but I don't think their offense is going to be good enough to overwhelm our defense. Then we go from Cleveland. We go over down to Atlanta, the Falcons. We play Michael Penix, 1 p.m. game. That's one of those 50-50 games, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of those 50-50 games. I'm just going to say that we win that game. We win that game. Okay? Then here's where the tough part comes. We got three tough matchups in a row. We go to Baltimore, play the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. That's a loss. Then we play. Oh no. Baltimore comes down to Hard Rock. My bad. Baltimore's at Hard Rock. It's an 8:15 p.m. game. So it's another game under the lights. Baltimore Ravens. Either way, I don't care if Miami's home. They're going to lose. Week 10, we play again at home. 1 p.m. game. Buffalo Bills. A loss. Cap for life. How you doing, brother? Then We're still at home. We got 3 games in a row at home, but 3 of the toughest. But this home game is not at the Hard Rock. This home game is in Madrid, Spain. We play the Washington Commanders against Jaden Daniels. That's a loss. So that's week 11, and week 12 we have a bye. So we're going to have a bye week, and then after the bye, we're going to come back home, Hard Rock at 1 p.m. We're going to play the New Orleans Saints. That should be a win. Then we've got to fly up to MetLife Stadium, week 14, 1 p.m. game. Play the Jets. That's a loss. That's a loss, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be cold too. Then we've got to go to Pittsburgh. It's an 8:15 game under the lights, and it's going to be probably freezing freaking cold in week 15. That's a loss. I'm sorry. I don't care who the quarterback is for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe it's Aaron Rodgers. Maybe it's Skylar Thompson. Wouldn't that be something if it's Skylar Thompson, right? Oh, boy. Anyway, I don't think we're going to win that game. It's going to be a tough physical battle, probably in the snow maybe, or the cold at least. It's probably going to be a low-scoring game, not a lot of passing. And if Tua's still, if Tua's still healthy and it's windy and cold, it ain't happening. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. We lose that game to Pittsburgh. Then we come back home at Hard Rock Stadium, and then we got to play Joe Burrow. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to lose that game. Then we come, are we back in? Yeah, we're back in the Hard Rock Stadium, and we're going to play, and I forgot to mention this quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay Bucks. That's a loss. Tampa Bay might be playing for something at that time of year too, and Cincinnati too, and Pittsburgh. So then the last game of the season, we've got to go up to New England, play the Patriots. Again, another cold game. There's no time. It's to be determined. I think we lose that game. I think we split. That's why I didn't put the Jets or the Patriots in the 50-50 category, because I feel we're going to split with them this year. I really do. So the record that I have, the ceiling that I have, is the Dolphins' ceiling, I think, this year. And who was it that put 10-7? Was it Elwood? Let me see. Well, whoever put that 10-7 in here, yeah, I said 9-8. I got them going 9-8. That's their ceiling. Okay, that's their ceiling. Their floor, and it all depends, in my opinion. Their floor, 5-12. Now, it could be worse, or it could be better. It could be 6-12 or 7-12. And the reason why I say that is because we could very well lose to one of those teams, the Colts or the Falcons or the Chargers. Okay? I think we're going to lose to the Chargers. Out of those three teams, Colts, Chargers, Falcons, I think we lose to the Chargers, but it's a possibility we could lose to the Colts and the Falcons as well. Yeah, bringing that beautiful quarterback in the draft. We got him. We got Quinn Ewers, man. He's on the team. We got Quinn Ewers, or him or Zach Wilson. One of the two. We'll see. So realistically, ladies and gentlemen, my prediction, and it's early. It's early, right? This is early. This could change, and it could also change throughout the year, right? Injuries, quarterbacks go down in injuries and stuff. Teams just not playing up to their standard or whatnot. So it could change. But right now, I got the Miami Dolphins going realistically 8-9. 8-9. Now, it comes with a caveat. I say 8-9, but if the rookies pan out, Tua stays healthy, I know it's a lot to ask. We don't sustain a lot of injuries, whether it be on a defensive line, offensive line, backfield line, whatever it is, whatever position it is, if we don't sustain a lot of injuries, everything, and we're playing we're playing really good. Everybody's in sync, good chemistry. Everything's working out. We're getting those 4th and 1s and 3rd and 1s. We're getting those. We're making those first downs. We got the running game going with Ollie Gordon, as far as the short yardage and stuff. James Daniels, he's playing at a good level, solid. He's playing really good. And Savanea is playing solid, right? And Jackson's playing solid, his norm. And Patrick Paul is maybe playing better than we thought he would. He's playing average or above. Then I think we can go 10-7. I really do. I think we can go 10-7. But realistically, we're going to sustain some injuries. There's probably a 70-80% chance Tua's going to get hurt. And you can't expect Zach Wilson to come in here and lead us to the playoffs. I mean, I think we put so much emphasis, so high. We put these high expectations on these backup quarterbacks, and they're just backup quarterbacks. If Zach Wilson comes in, let's say Tua goes down in the 5th, 6th, 7th week, and then Zach Wilson comes in and he leads us to the playoffs, right? He he wins, 5 out of the 10 games left, right? And leads us to the playoffs. Then he's not a backup. He should be the starter. He should be the starter. Tua should be done. Finito. But we'll see. We'll see. Nightmare. Let's see what Nightmare had to say. Let me put my glasses on. Been hearing that Tua is thinking we are going to win 12 games. Tua ears are delusional. Let's see what did DJ Label have to say. DSG Label. Would an 8-win season lead to McDaniels getting fired during the season? Man, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't. I really don't. I don't think that they would let McDaniel go. And Greer, of course, is going to stay. I think Greer is staying regardless. I think McDaniel would be the one to go if we, end up being 5-12, 6-11, or 7-10. I think McDaniel would probably be the one to go. But at 8 and 9 season, he had that. We had that season last year. They're going to say, "Oh well, we won 8 and 9. Tua went down, or we had some injuries. Same thing as last year. Tua went down. We had sustained some injuries, which we did. Our two edge guys are not. Were injured and everything. So, yeah, that'd be the excuses, and he'll probably end up staying. Um, Take another question. You had another question here. Where is it? Would 8 win? Oh, no. Up here. Sorry. Cheetah not going to sit silent all year again. He wants to be a winner. Yeah, I can see that happening for sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't it's only going to get worse. And if we start off bad, or we start off slow, or we end up, you know, 500 in the middle of the year, 5-5 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Tyreek is going to make some noise for sure. And that's not going to be good. So, MRAC Ross said 8 and 9 wasn't acceptable. Okay. Whatever. I'll be quite frank with you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't believe a damn thing this organization says anymore. I really don't. I don't believe anything they say. Nightmare 74 said 12-5. Man, I hope you're right, dude. I really do. I really hope you're right. Let's see, we got any more questions? I'll take questions if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? You think 8 and 9 is realistic? Do you think my prediction of 8 and 9 is realistic, or do you think they're going to win more or less games? In the chat, what do you think? See, let me see if I can find those statistics about Weaver's defense last year. Yeah. All right. DSG label, you agree? Okay. I'm looking for those stats that I saw about Weaver's defense. Let me see if I can find it again. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. So I'll just do this is the defense, and then I'll do the offense as well. So the defense, of course, the coordinator is Anthony Weaver, whom I like. I really like Anthony Weaver. Okay. He did a great job last year. I mean, regardless, bad teams, good teams, he still did a great job with what he had, the players he had, and he was missing the two edge rushers and stuff. So he did well. So the safety alignment that he uses primarily is a single high. Use that 49% of the time. Too high used, of course, 51%. Coverage scheme, 61.94% of the time. Anthony Weaver's coverage scheme was zone. That's what he used. Coverage formation, nickel. Plays a lot of nickel. And the defensive front, 3-4. Let's see what MRAC said. I think 7 games is max win total. The last 10 games of the schedule, the Saints are only guaranteed win. That's 9 possible losses. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I think the floor is 5-12, and realistically 8-9, and their ceiling is 9-8. Possibly they could squeeze 10 wins, but these rookies are really going to have to play at a high level. Okay. And these defensive backs, these safeties, Davis and Malavau or whatever his name is, those two guys, maybe they'll surprise us, right? Who knows? They've never been starters for a reason, right? I mean, one of them's because of a lot of injuries. Um, Malavau, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But so maybe they'll surprise us. I don't know. But history tells me that he's going to get hurt again. That safety that we got from Detroit, Malavau. Something tells me he's going to get hurt again. He hasn't played more than, I think he played 10 games one season out of all his years that he's played. One season. Let's see. Let me see how many seasons he's played real quick, and then I'll get to the offense stats that I wanted to show you. So that's Malavau. Let's see if I can find him here. The safety we got. I don't know how to spell his name, so I probably can't find it. Let me go to the roster. I'll try to find it. Because I'm curious now. I am curious. Okay. Here he is. Okay, so he's played 5 seasons. He's a young guy, but he's only had one good season. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. He wasn't even a starter. He's never been a starter. Actually, he's been in 10 games in 2022, 17 games in 2023, but he only started 1 in 2022, and he started 6 in 2023. He's had a total of 14 starts, so he hasn't even played a full season. He's only had 14 starts in 5 years. What's that like? Yeah, three games a season. Can't count on that. Can't count on that. So the offense, let's go to the offense here. And let's see. And quite frankly, I don't think Mike McDaniel, he's not going to go to a pro set or pro style offense. He's not going to eliminate, he's not going to stop doing the motions and all that stuff. He's not. And I think he's going to continue to do the quick timing passes that Tua, excels in. He does. So I think that they're going to continue with that. Why change it up now? He's been doing that for 3 years, and he's been proficient with it, right? So I doubt if they're going to change that system now. The only thing that he might implement a little more is that running game, right? The inside zone. The inside zone. So, and another thing we're going to have to do next year is we're going to have to start hitting those deep balls, man. Somehow or another, Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel are going to have to try to find Tyreek and Waddle like they did that first year. That's going to open up the running game, and that's what it did. That's why Mostert had 19 touchdowns or 20 touchdowns or whatever it was. And Achane had a great rookie season because that passing game opened up the running game. The running game didn't open up the passing game. So the offense, I keep getting distracted. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Doomsday people, 10-7. Man, I hope so, brother. I hope you're right, Elwood. I really do, brother. I really do. And I think they can. They can. With under that circumstances that I told you, I think they could go 10-7. Other than that, I don't think they will. But hey, I hope they do. I hope they go 12-5. I hope they go 14-3 or whatever. Hope they win the division. I want them to. This offense will be top 10. Okay. Offense. Of course, Mike McDaniel's the coach, offensive coordinator. Quarterback alignment, he was under shotgun 50% of the time, under center, and the pistol 28.2% of the time. Tua Tagovailoa is not going to play under center 50% of the time. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It would surprise me if they do. Oh, top 10 in pre-snap penalties. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. You might be right, man. You might be right. Let's see. Okay. Heavy play action. They were ranked 7th in the league with heavy play action last year. They used the passing personnel. They used 21, 22, and 11 personnel. Run concept. Man, 29.27%. Zone, 50% of the time. 50%. The running game plan was single back or two back. So maybe we'll see some two back this year. Maybe they'll put in and that's another thing. We're talking about Ollie Gordon, which I like. I like the pick and everything. I really do. I really do. But you got Achane, Jalen Wright, Madison, Ollie Gordon, Alec Ingold. That's 5. Then you've got Ollie Gordon, they drafted. You've got Noel, the other running back, undrafted free agent. So they got 7. Are they going to have 6 running backs? Are they going to have 6 running backs on the 53-man roster? Yeah, Achane is number 1 for sure. Yeah, Larry Little is not walking through that door for sure, brother. I watched Larry Little play many, many times down in Miami when I was living there growing up in the 70s. I also met him at the 7-Eleven store one time. He was a good one, man. He was a good one. Yeah. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we only have a 53-man roster. Let's stop this stuff about, like we've got like, I don't know, 10, 12 wide receivers. Only 4 or 5 are going to be on the roster. Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Malik Washington, Westbrook, and one more. What did you say? How many rings Bill got with no defense? Okay. Yeah, this is another thing. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking to you, Elwood. I'm talking in general. A lot of Miami Dolphins fans, what they do is they'll say, well, Buffalo doesn't have any rings. Well, Justin Herbert doesn't have any rings, or so and so, or this team or that team. And then that team comes down here and they smash mouth us. So who are we to talk? We don't have any freaking playoff wins in 25 years. Who are we to talk? Who misspelled Brady? Did I say anything about Brady? Anyway, um, so that's what I believe, man. So we'll see. We'll see how the season plays out, man. I hope everything goes well with them, the Miami Dolphins. We've got training camp coming up. We got the OTAs and stuff coming up. Training camp in July. So there's a lot that has to happen. A lot of things can go good or can go bad for Miami from now until then. We'll see. Hopefully Tyreek Hill keeps his mouth shut and stays out of trouble. And then we got that post June 1st with Jalen Ramsey. We'll see how that goes. I know Rasul Douglas, he came for a visit, supposedly a secret visit in Miami, the cornerback, and we didn't come to agreement with him. I don't know. Are they who else? Who's out there? What other cornerbacks are out there that's worth a damn? That's any better than what we have on our roster now? You know, what's going to be an upgrade from Jalen Ramsey? Remember, we lost Kendall Fuller as well. Hey, Frozen Fin Fan, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you for joining. Everybody, go to Frozen Fin Fan's channel and subscribe. He's got a good channel over there. Make sure you go to his channel and subscribe. He's got a really good show, and in fact, I'm going to invite him on the show here coming up soon. So hopefully he accepts. He's got some good content over there on his channel. So go over there and subscribe. Elwood, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, brother. I really do. Appreciate you, man. Yep, I appreciate you, brother. Hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and then share with your friends, your families, and your neighbor. And I just want to make mention, hey, no problem, brother. No problem. You got some good content over there, and I try to help out the community as much as I can. And I know you're up and coming, but you've got an outstanding show over there, podcast. So appreciate you. Yeah. What was I saying now? I forgot what I was going to say. That's what happens when you get old like me. But oh. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you joining tonight. I just wanted to, come on here on this Friday night, and I did want to, give my 2 cents on the Dolphins schedule. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we do have a 10-7 or 11-6 or whatever it may be, a winning record. But I just don't have high expectations. I guess I'm shell shocked. I just don't have high expectations for the Miami Dolphins this year, this team. Maybe they'll surprise me. I do like the picks, the draft picks. I like the direction that it seems like they want to go, more physical, younger. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out, man. So appreciate you guys again. Have a great evening. God bless, and remember, Dolphins #1.